I am joined by Robert Griffin III, James White, Field Yates Meanakeims. All right, so first play we're going to look at, 2nd and 2, one of the Patriots' first offensive plays.
We got about a half hour, 45 minutes or so here. We're going to answer as many questions as you guys have. We're also going to talk about some of the news and notes that just happened down in Foxborough, because myself and Taylor are about 10 minutes late here because we just got home from Gillette Stadium, where the Patriots officially put pen to paper with Stefon Diggs and unfortunately released a longtime captain in Jawan Bentley. So we talked a little bit about that. We have a couple videos coming on Patriots Press Pass here that will kind of touch on those. But since we have you guys, members, here first, we'll spend the next couple of minutes talking about that. Then we will get into an all-offense mock draft to round this thing out. And we'll use all those questions as this AMA goes forward to try and answer as many questions as you guys have. So, Taylor, first and foremost, let's talk about Stefon Diggs. 3 years, $69 million, 26 guaranteed. We don't have the full guarantee. There could be some injury stuff in there, what have you. But Diggs spoke today, talked about Drake May, talked about why he signed with the Patriots, talked about a bunch of stuff, his injury updates. But what were your first impressions of the 31-year-old new number 1 wide receiver for the New England Patriots?
Thought he was very self-aware, and that's what I think we've heard. We've obviously had all the talk about the diva stuff and having the fiery personality, and what exactly does that mean? Well, I do, and even Stefon Diggs acknowledged that earlier in his career, he was very intense and he was very competitive, but he didn't really know how to turn it off, right? And we heard a similar thing from Matt Collins, where these guys are hyper competitive, and that's what you need to make it to the NFL in most cases. But also, it is a people business, and you have teammates. And if you are on one page and you're trying to get everybody to go, to the beat of your drum, but you're the only one who's kind of on that wavelength, then at some point you got to kind of pull up. So seemed like Diggs was aware of that. And now that he's coming here, he wants to be that mentor. And he has been. He was a captain in Houston. He was a 3-time captain with the Bills. So it's not like this is new to him. But now he's going to use the experiences from those other stops, be able to work with Drake May, help a young quarterback come along the way he did with Stroud and with Josh Allen. The receiver room, which he also touched on, he wants to be able to help those guys really when they're at their low points, right? Where actually echoed something we heard from Javon Baker a lot, where sometimes it just isn't your time, but you have to keep preparing and you have to be ready. And also wanting to make sure that he can help those guys through some rough patches, as we know they probably could use someone like him last season. So I think on the field, like he said, as long as I'm healthy, things are probably going to take care of themselves. But I think the most exciting thing is that this is the type of presence this room has needed for so long since they lost Julian Edelman, where I think Jacoby Myers was mature enough as a young player that you didn't really have, this need for the veteran presence. And you had Aguilar, you had Bourne, you had enough older guys that there wasn't really much of a maturity issue. But now that this is a room that didn't have all those proven, reliable veteran targets, now you've got someone that can really set the example, along with Matt Collins, who I think is going to be a really good complementary piece to Diggs as another very intense competitor.
Definitely. And I liked the comparison to Drake May, but also I just look at the ability to help a young quarterback that Diggs has had. And I know you mentioned Stroud and Allen a little bit, but like the first year Josh Allen got his hypothetical hands on Stefon Diggs, for lack of a better term, it was Allen's career high in passing yards. It was Allen's career high in touchdown passes. And Diggs led the league in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns. So, he was dominant as soon as he got there. Now, it's been a couple of years. He is coming off the injury, so we do have to temper our expectations a tad. But, what this guy can potentially do, not only for the offense and the rest of the wide receiver room, but for a guy in Drake May who already showed a ton of rapid development last season, from when we first saw him on the field until his last game. He really grew pretty much week in and week out. And so now you get, an actual pass catcher who can dictate coverage, hopefully, and be that sort of wide receiver one and somebody who he can trust and be a security blanket. To me, it's a slam dunk signing. And I think the diva nonsense that we keep talking about with Stefon Diggs, that was not there at all to me. He sat up there. His mother was in the room with him. He was very polite. He was very excited to be there. He talked about the, his way of, I guess, not changing his attitude towards conflict, and like he said, to giving the spanking instead of getting in a guy's face or whatever it was. He was just he's all over it. I'm excited for it. It seems like a good fit. And in general, we'll see what the contract looks like, but I do think they'll likely have an out after a year. So if the worst comes to worst, it's 1 year, and it either blows up or he doesn't stay healthy or what have you, and it was worth the shot. So a good signing overall. I will say, or I'll throw this in there to kind of start the AMA. And Robin Fish asks right away. And throw your questions in the chat, guys, whoever is here. And we'll get to as many as possible over the next half hour or so. Robin Fish asks, hypothetically, how many targets and yards do you think Stefon Diggs will get this year?
This is always tough. I don't like predicting stats, mostly because I'm a film guy. But also, we have no idea when Diggs will surely be on the field. And he, at least to me, it felt like he was trying to make sure that he was tempering expectations, both for himself and I think for fans. Like he mentioned how he is ahead of schedule, but he wants to stay ahead of schedule, and that he's a guy who likes to put a lot on his plate and wants to work hard. But when it comes to recovery, the body does what the body does, and all the hard work in the world can sometimes end up biting you in the butt. So we don't know that he's going to be ready week 1, like Adam Schefter reported. It seems like that's the current timetable. If he is, say he catches 75 balls, I think he gets like 900, 1,000 yards, just because if he is healthy enough, I don't think there's anybody on the roster who's going to demand more targets than him. And obviously if defenses say we are going to dictate based on this guy and try to have coverage around him, maybe that'll change. But I don't even think Stefon Diggs is necessarily that level of a threat, but I think he is reliable enough that he's someone that Drake can look to if he's like, hey, it's a critical moment. This guy's either going to be open or he's going to catch the ball. So if he plays the whole year, I'll put it like 75, like 900, 950, something like that.
And I totally understand, again, the not trying to, I guess, shoehorn yourself into stats here, and also, again, being sort of the film angle of it. But it feels like Stefon Diggs was pretty invested in, his stats, at least talking today. Now, I think a lot of that was the fact that he's constantly been a 1,000+ yard receiver in just about every season he's been healthy. And that last year, he kind of mentioned he was on track to get there again, and then got hurt, and then kind of got thrown off. But, if all goes according to plan, it sounds like he wants to hit that 1,000-yard mark. And by the sound of it, with Schefter mentioning he's going to be ready for week 1, that report doesn't just go out there if his camp doesn't want it out there. And though he's being
cautious, be careful.
I know, because he's being cautiously optimistic. Because on one hand, he was asked when he's going to practice, and he said, "I'm practicing once the whistle blows," making it sound like as soon as we're ready, I'm ready. But at the same time, then he kind of backtracked and was like, "Yeah, but we're going to take it a day at a time," and all the typical kind of towing the line stuff. So we'll see. But at the end of the day, the stats shouldn't matter. It should be the impact he has on the field for Drake May, game by game, as well as the trickle down throughout the rest of the run. How far am I in snowfall so far? I haven't started it, but I will eventually. We will get to the shows once the weekend comes. We got a lot of March Madness this weekend though, so I can't really get into
another good show is The Studio, Seth Rogen show on Apple Plus. It basically shows because obviously he's been in the business now for so long, and he has been a producer as well. He has a pretty good idea of what actually goes on. And there's 2 episodes out right now, like Catherine Hahn's in it as well. She's fantastic. It's a really, really funny show, and also a pretty cool look at how chaotic and ridiculous Hollywood is behind the scenes, because we see it from obviously one. It's kind of like the NFL, where it's a business and it's in entertainment. And when you follow it, it looks like one thing. But when you're actually in it, you start to peel back the layers and see these are people just like us who make mistakes and are fallible and all those things.
You said it's called The Studio?
The Studio. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to write that down right now. The Studio, Apple TV Plus. Okay. I guess since this is my first members only AMA, we will take show recommendations in the chat as well. I'm trying to get myself on the show grind here now that we're asking all of our guests that as well. Let's talk about Ja'Whaun Bentley, and we'll loop in Nelson's question here before we get into the all offensive mock draft. Thoughts on them releasing Bentley, and do we think Jelani Tavai is next? So if you didn't already know, the Patriots did cut ties with Ja'Whaun Bentley today. Was here for 7 seasons, I believe. He was a 3-time captain. He was the final Super Bowl champion on the roster in New England. Carlton Davis obviously won it. Joe Cardona still here.
Joe Cardona still
You're
there,
right.
Yeah.
Nope, you're right. Thank you. Yes, he is the second to last Super Bowl champion with the Patriots. So he's cut after 7 seasons. Patriots loading up on linebacker this offseason, as we know. Robert Spillane Christian Ellis returns, Harold Landry off the edge. So they've kind of revamped some of their offense. Obviously, they've revamped a ton. Now David Andrews is gone. Dietrich Wise is gone. Jacoby Brissett's gone. A ton of captains out the door. Long story short, Bentley's gone. Taylor, what are your thoughts? And looping in Nelson's question, do you think Jelani Tavai is next?
Yeah, Jelani Tavai is most certainly next. Now, he has a deal that's not quite as easy to get out of because, hi, Kate, because one,
did she move?
There? Is Kate there?
She's on the, she's on the other side of the thing.
Oh, well, is she not listening to the pod right now? Is she not a member and actively on the stream?
You should be a member of Patriots Daily, and you should be watching the stream right now.
All right, we'll get her membership. We'll get her situation. Anyway,
Kate said she will become a member when they win a Super Bowl.
That's fair. We'll see what that happens, but hopefully that won't take too long. Hopefully we'll still be on the beat by then. But Jelani Tavai does seem like he's next. Now, he is signed through 2023. If he is designated as a pre-June 1st cut, it's a pretty significant cap hit. It's almost $7 million. That's almost halved if they designate it as a post-June 1st cut. Now, the reason teams don't always do that is, one, you can only have 2 designations for a post-June 1st cut. Also, the money's just deferred, so it's not like it goes away. You're basically just kind of pushing it down. So still, though, there's not a lot of candidates for it. And I know people were upset that Bentley goes before Tavai. I think the timing of it, definitely, there's something to it of, like, why would you let David Andrews and Juwan Bentley go at this stage when teams have already gone through free agency? I think that's pretty fair. That said, both guys are older for their positions, very physically demanding roles. They battled injury the past 2 years. I don't want to pretend like their markets were going to be hot necessarily. It is unfortunate, though, that they maybe didn't get a little bit of a head start. But with Tavai, yeah, I think he was at least listed as 248 and Bentley was 245. So he's actually technically bigger than Bentley is. And obviously after last year showing that while he didn't have great coaching, he was more of a Robin than a Batman. The writing's on the wall, especially when they have 3 other linebackers that seem like better fits on the roster. But Juwan Bentley, it sucks because it's like David Andrews, where a guy who put so much into this team, who is the heart and soul of his side of the football, who, wasn't a core piece by the time they won that Super Bowl in 2018 or technically 2019. He was still a young piece. But as we know, he took over as the leader of that defense and really did a fantastic job and did a lot of thankless things as well. So you respect the hell out of Juwan Bentley, but that's what this new regime is. They're kind of cutting ties to the old guard, and their timing could definitely be better. This is the second time that they got rid of a longtime captain and Super Bowl champion at the same time as they're introducing a new player. So maybe clean that up a little bit, but these are the things that happen when you have regime changes. And maybe I don't think it should happen last year, but last year we saw that they wanted to retain guys. This is a very different system where the actual scheme is changing. So, we've been talking about Bentley not really being a good fit since before Spillane was signed. It was emphasized when Spillane was signed. And then when Ellis got basically the same money, even with the talk of Bentley slimming down, I was like, where does he play now? You're making the same money as somebody else. Yeah, like that just never made any sense.
Yeah, and it's last season, looking back on it, more and more just felt like a Band-Aid and sort of a half-ass way to try and keep the Patriots intact, but getting rid of Bill Belichick, right? Where, Mayo was supposed to be this players coach / build disciple, bringing in all the same guys. They retained Tavai, they retained Ben, like that. All those guys come back. Now it's like, okay, no. Yeah, we'll keep the guys that we care about. We'll keep the guys that, we think can help us win, but there's no loyalty here. There's no love lost. And it stinks, but at the same time, like, this might sound bad, but what does Mike Vrabel owe Juwan Bentley? He doesn't owe him anything. He doesn't know him. He's never coached him. He doesn't owe him the fact that he's been here for 7 years or has been a captain. Like, this is my team now, and if we see value in you, we'll keep you. And if we don't, I'm sorry. He had no guaranteed money left, as Giardi reported. So, like, there's no real reason to keep him around if you don't think he's going to add value. Clearly, he doesn't. And that's just kind of what it is. And it sucks. It sounds shitty, but, like, at the end of the day, that's just kind of what this is. And that's the same goes for David Andrews and Jonathan Jones and Dietrich Wise and all those guys. That's the business. And that's the shitty side of the business, as David Andrews has said a few times, since he's been released. And so that's the kind of.
The crazy thing is also, obviously, their impact went beyond the Super Bowls, especially Bentley, but kind of crazy. I just realized this. I was trying to put it in perspective the last time they won a Super Bowl. There are kids that were born the same year they won the Super Bowl that are now in school. Think about that. It's been that long.
2019. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
those kids are like getting up there in age now. They're
That's
like starting preschool or whatever the hell it is. Like, that's kind of crazy to think about. So when you say he doesn't owe them anything, it's kind of like, yeah, when y'all were out here winning and being, you know, a dominant team, it's quite some time ago. He's probably got more gray hairs than he did when they won that Super Bowl. So, you know, it's another, just to put it into perspective, but obviously it's not just the Super Bowls. He did a lot of things for the community, for the team. I don't want to diminish it, but just kind of crazy putting that in perspective.
Yeah, speaking of Bentley, I do keep looking up at the side over here because I'm watching that Bentley BC game.
I literally thought that Kate was just like standing over threatening to punch you or something. I'm like,
no, I keep looking over and you said was that Kate? No, I'm watching Bentley BC, currently tied 1-1. Kate, a Bentley alum, so we're in the office cheering on the Falcons. Hopefully they can.
Is it 1-1 still?
College. It's still 1-1.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens here. But on the Bentley front, keeping it with Juwan Bentley. Alex asks, with Bentley getting released, any linebackers in your mind to keep an eye on in the draft?
I had only really seen Schwesinger and Bassa before this. Okay. And now, with Bentley, it seemed even more like they didn't need one. But still, they've got Ellis and Spillane under contract for 2 years. They said that Ellis's best football is ahead of him. Seems like they see him as at least a significant contributor. So I would guess that they don't even address the position until maybe the fourth, probably the fifth rounder later. And I'm not going to lie, I'm not. Like, I've been focused on offense, trenches, linebackers isn't high enough a priority for me to have watched yet, but check in like the week before the draft. I'll try to cram some guys.
Just wanted to give a quick shout out to our friends over at Prize Picks. If you want to get in on the action with us, head over there, use code CLNS. You get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.
That's easy enough. You said you've been focused on offense, so let's get into it. Let's do an all-offense mock draft here on this members-only AMA. Unless we can kind of, I don't mean to say it like this, but knock out any more questions here. Who is the pick at 4? If Hunter and Carter are gone, there's the one you want, and there is no one who wants to trade out. So let's go through this scenario right now. We'll pull up the mock draft and see what actually happens here. Can you see that okay?
Yeah, it's actually perfect.
Sweet.
It's shared the actual screen, but not the tabs and everything. I don't know how you did that, but that's
perfect. All right. We're getting somewhere. All right. So Patriots at 4. We'll do all 7 rounds. We'll go fast. Any pushback on these sliders here, Taylor? I think we're pretty much all set.
I'm good.
All right. And got anyone who is in this this members only chat as we go through, if you guys have any suggestions, you want to see anything, we may call to the chat and ask for you guys to help us with this mock draft. But we're going, y'all. Stay alert. We're going offense only here for 7 rounds. We'll see what happens. So right off the bat, I'm just gonna say that we're sticking at 4. We're not trading up at all. I don't think we're gonna trade up into the top 3. Jeff says you can adjust speed probably early on to slow. Good call.
Yeah. That's why we just keep it on fast instead of turbo.
Fast is good? All right. Let's start the draft.
Turbo is like you don't even have a choice. Fast is just like that.
Oh, you're right. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Will Campbell. So Hunter and Campbell go.
Well, it's all offense, so we don't even have a choice.
We can't touch Abdul Carter, so we could go Tet.
I would trade this, honestly, because in this scenario, would you
want to trade back?
Yeah,
and get Armand Membu, don't you?
I would trade back and get any. Think about it. Right now, there's so many guys. If you traded back like 3 spots, there's so many options you still have.
I want to take Tet at 4 and trade into the first round for Ursery, but we always do Ursery.
Because why not get more capital and address both positions?
If we trade back, is Tet gonna be there? Who's calling? Let's see who's
That's gonna be gone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's see first.
Ooh, 8? 4 to 8?
I could do that.
Yeah, me too.
I don't like being behind the Jets, but let's see what they'll offer. And they play the Panthers next year, so you're actually going to have to face Carter. So whoever you get at that tackle spot better be pretty dead. Honestly, if you get Ursery, he's already beaten Abdul Carter, so maybe.
So is 57 and a future first? What about a second?
They're not. This system will never let you do something like that.
What about 57's not enough?
Let's do it. Here's what we'll do. This is for the members, so we're not going to be as aggressively criticized for this. Let's just keep the future firsts out because we have to force a trade. I think it's more fun when you see what the system actually lets you do. Then it's a game, you know?
So we're not forcing trades.
No, not this one. Not this one.
All right. So what are we gonna do?
Let's see if we can get 111 too, and see how that affects it.
111.
Oh, all right. So 70. Let's try to get 74 and offer them 144. Let's see how that works out.
It says 77% chance of being accepted here. Should we take the chance?
Offer, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, okay.
Oh, bro, we're loaded. We're cooking
So
gas.
we have a ton of picks. We'll resume the draft, and we'll see if Tet McMillan will fall to us.
No shot.
Tet.
Jets.
Oh, man.
I knew it. Can I curse on this
okay.
one? Yeah, I can. Those fuckers.
Psst. Genty.
Members only. What'd you say?
We should take Ashton, Genty.
Oh my God! Shut. Oh wait. Oh.
At the 8th pick.
Over Tyler Warren or nah. No. Okay. No. I forgot for a second. What was no? We're not taking Ashton Genty. Okay.
Wow.
Here's my thing. To take a running back when you could be drafting 2 linemen is insane, right? It's like when people were like, draft Marvin Harrison Jr. And it's like, what if you can't find a quarterback for 3 years? Then what? I think it's putting the before the horse.
But taking
like Ramonji's been running
just...
the brick walls for years. I don't want that for Ashton.
Fine. Then I at least want to take Tyler Warren instead of a lineman here. At 8?
I don't hate it. Okay.
We can get a lineman later.
I'm okay with that. I like it. It's outside the box and it's not crazy. I'm with that. Or
and then
Colston Loveland. Do you want him or Colston Loveland? Based on what we heard from Dame the other day.
I want to let's take Tyler Warren.
So Membu is on the board, and I would like Membu, but I also like the idea of thinking outside the box. So
here's the tackles available: Membu, Josh Simmons, Kelvin Banks, and we have so many picks left that we can trade back into round 1 to try and get a tackle.
Yeah, true.
So
all right,
let's take
Tyler Warren.
I would take Tyler Warren.
And then
we can try and get into like the 25 range.
Yeah, let's see who's there that they're familiar with. 23 is kind of rich. Let's go.
We could go up to Houston.
Yeah, let's talk to our old friend Nick Caserio.
I'm going to resume for a few and see who's there at 24.
Shador. Right. Shador went 21.
Oh, to the Steelers. That's so funny.
I actually kind of I like that.
All right. 25, 38, 69, or 74?
77. 106. Let's see if 106 works.
33%.
Shit. Okay. So 77, try to get 166 back.
All right. They're saying yes.
See what 89 is, like how much it messes with the chances.
Ooh, yeah. 34.
Try to get a future pick, then. Try to get a future third. Future fourth, I'm good. Future fourth, if they say yes, I'm good. Yep.
So we're not taking 166, right?
Throw it in, see if they care.
78.
Offer it. Let's see what happens. Okay, no 166.
So 38, 77 for 25 and a future fourth.
Yeah.
All right, let's party.
All right, who's there? If it's Josh.
Josh Simmons just went. He just went. Frig.
You don't need. Oh my God, that's so annoying. You have Christian Darrisaw. Stupid computer.
Did you watch any Josh Connerly like you said you were gonna?
No, but also now that I've looked through the running backs that they've been looking at, they're gonna stick with Gap. I think they want an athletic center. I think in most diverse run schemes, you like a center who can get out and be an outside zone guy because their guards are so big, they don't need a massive center. But tackle,
Jeff, we didn't trade up to 24 because, like Taylor just said, they have Christian Darrisaw coming back. Like they shouldn't have taken Josh Simmons. Yeah, and we knew the Texans, so
yeah. Do they know anybody?
So Kelvin Banks is Kelvin Banks good value at 25?
No, I think he's a guard. I mean, if you think he's a tackle, he's a good value. I don't think he's a tackle. I would rather go with Ursery.
We already said we can't take Ursery.
Oh no, this is a different thing. This is the members only one. So the other draft we did this week doesn't count.
Okay.
But no, let's see other players because we have this is our only second rounder.
Burden.
We have a second round. Oh wait, no, we don't. We traded.
No, we traded it. We traded it. We have 57 and 69.
No, we do 57. That's still in the second round.
Oh, that's second? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Best player of it. Oh, Luther Burden. That's a good value. At 25,
I'm sold.
Luther Burden. Yeah.
All right.
I'll take
And
that.
then we just all right, Luther Burden at 25. We have Tyler Warren, Luther Burden. We're loading up for Drake.
The inside's going to be filthy. All right, now let's see if we can go turbo. This is too slow.
You're right. Whoa.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Well, we're at 57.
All right, what do we got for tackles now?
Or sorry.
Or do we get your pillow? Because that seems
Let's
like what
take
they were-
Ozzy.
Take
Yeah.
Ozzy. Okay, your pillow.
Oh, we're at. Why did it still go turbo? Whatever.
That's fine. We're probably not going to be doing that many in
You're
session
right.
trades anyway. Kyle Kennard. Oh, it's all offense. I completely forgot.
All offense.
Can you filter it?
Running back. RJ Harvey. It's a little early, maybe.
Let's
You
look.
can't-
Let's look at all the offensive guys. Just like so, press down and go up from the lowest one. So, like from interior line, press it and go up.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at that. Okay.
Marcus and Bo. Oof.
I want
I
to
love
target
that.
Jared Wilson at 74.
Okay, would you
So no-
rather take a tight end here or a running back?
Well, we already
Oh, you did
took
Tyler Warren. Yeah, that's right.
Tyler Warren.
Bo, let's do Bo and an RJ Harvey if he's still there. How's that? Because then you get your
Okay.
center, your center who can play every position. Jared Wilson
And Bo
can't do
can
that.
play. And Bo's a
plays
center as well.
He played tackle in college. And people
Interesting.
think he's probably going to be best as a center. Like he's
All
going
right.
to be, dude. His move, he looked like. Obviously, boxing is a lot like offensive line play we talked about with Will Campbell. He literally, I've never seen someone look more like they were boxing on a football field. Like he has insane body control and just like will play with guys. Like he'll like flash hands and stuff just to kind of get them to move. Like he's fun to watch. I would love him at center.
All right, let's party. Marcus and Bo.
Okay.
And hopefully RJ Harvey's there at 74.
If he's not, we got plenty of running backs too.
He didn't go. And let's go RB. Sound good to you?
I'm good with Harvey.
All right.
Man, Drake May, you lucky dog.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Back on turbo. We don't need to see all this.
106.
All right, what's our board look? Or like, what are our picks again? What do our picks look like? Isaiah Bond. Oh my gosh.
Here's what we have so far.
Dude, I would take Isaiah Bond. Or Jalen Rivers. One of the two. I'd probably go Isaiah Bond, honestly.
I like Isaiah Bond here. Let's do it.
Yeah, I like Bond.
And it turbo us
That's a
again.
lot of speed. Okay, so go down. There's somebody I want, but I can't. JJ Pegas?
He's defense, Taylor.
But he's a fullback.
Are we counting that?
Yeah, we are. He plays fullback.
Okay.
He's still there.
Is he
That's
still
our
there?
little cheat code.
I don't think he's here. I think he's gone.
Oh man, let's see where he went on the board. Probably right before this. Where did he go? Oh,
Can you
we're in the
search
fifth
it?
round. Yeah, he's usually a fourth rounder. Okay. All right. So who
Oh,
else
he
do we
went
got?
119. He went 119.
Damn it. All right.
All right. Offensively, we have 4 picks left, and right now, best player available is 2 quarterbacks, a tight end, a running back.
We want to add to the trenches, maybe.
What do we need? So we have 2 wide receivers, a tight end,
The right
2
tackle.
tackles.
Developmental right tackle, Ajani Cornelius. Played on the other side of Josh Connerly.
Josh Connerly, yeah.
Mhm.
I'll take it. Let's do it.
So they are similar type of players. My thing is they're both so explosive, great with the ball in their hands. I don't really care. Like, we know that Josh can work with guys who don't have the most size. As long as I think you have that complementary piece, I think you'll be fine. Also, it's all offense. So, like, there's going to be some level of redundancy.
Do you want your boy Pat Bryant here?
Kinda. Yeah, I do.
Instead of Cornelius?
Nah, go Cornelius. I think the trenches should be a bigger priority.
Okay.
Robbie Oots is a good point too. Let's see if he's still around. Good call, Nelson.
Fast.
This freaking thing. It keeps going back.
All right, we need to go
Turbo?
turbo. Unless we want to we don't want to trade up at all, do
It's
we?
too late. No, I'm not trying to do any trades.
Turbo. Who is available?
I could do a Holland. Oh my gosh! If we didn't already have so many freaking offensive linemen, I would go Holland Pierce. I love him.
Well, we didn't go O-line last time. Oh no, we did. I thought we went Pat Bryant. Damn it, I'm losing my mind here. Okay.
Luke Lachey, I like him as a tight end. Iowa, you can never go wrong with an Iowa tight end.
That's a good point. I like it.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not familiar with a lot of these guys.
Luke Lachey, easy enough, like you said, Iowa tight.
Yeah.
220.
Look at quarterbacks. Let's see whose name.
I was just gonna say. I would not touch DJ with a 10-foot pole.
Why?
I get bad vibes.
Oh, isn't he the one who's like 30?
Yeah, he needs to get a job.
Let's go Brady, let us cook. Brady and Cook in New England would go over very well.
I loved Will Rogers during his time.
I don't know anything about that man.
I liked him during his time at Mississippi State.
Okay.
But all right, yeah, you know what? I want Will Rogers, so I'm gonna take Will Rogers because I control the board. 238, Taylor. This one's your pick. We wrap it up here.
Hey, let's see. Let's go all the way. Let's go as low as we can go. KJ Jefferson. Isn't KJ Jefferson a dual threat? I don't know why I think that.
Yeah.
Is he? All right, that's your quarterback then. That's your athletic developmental quarterback, KJ Jefferson. Actually, let me do the scouting report.
We just took Will Rogers. We just took a quarterback.
Oh, my God. Oh, that's just hard. All right, so we got to end it on a lineman then, right? Or another running back. Lineman or a running back.
Yeah. All right, let's
actually no.
out.
Let's let everybody else pick because I feel like other people know. So is there a LeJontay Wester? Is he still on the board? That'll be Nelson's pick. LeJontay, that's your boy. We're doing it for you, buddy.
For Nelson.
Yep.
For Nelson.
And I'll actually do so. Let me read his scouting report.
All right.
LeJontay Wester.
And here is our board, folks. What do we think? Everyone's so mad we didn't take Kelvin Banks. Or at least
I'm just not a big
one person is.
All right, so let me see LeJontay Wester scouting report. So we ran a 4.46. He's 5'10", 163. Yikes. Undersized slot target with good speed and above average production. Wester is built for longer routes with softer angles, allowing him to build separation. He's less effective with wiggle routes underneath. There are times his catch focus stands out, but he has a very small catch radius. I guess he's a returner. He is exclusively a returner, it sounds like.
Good point here from Jeff about our trade up when we didn't go with Minnesota. Minnesota should be the target because they don't have any picks, so they're gonna want more stuff. Let's see, anything else here? What about how about another trade back? And everyone wants Ursery. We didn't take him, did we? No,
Trust me, I will take Ursery as many times.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just need to practice other ideologies.
Yeah. So, all right, we go Tyler Warren, Luther Burden, Ozzie Trapillo, Marcus Mbo, RJ Harvey, Isaiah Bond, Johnny Cornelius, Luke Lachey, Will Rogers, and LeJontay Wester rounds it out. That is our all offensive mock draft here on the AMA show. We have a couple more questions in the chat that we can get to before we get out of here. If I can just pull up. That's not the lower third I want. Where's the lower third I want? Dun, dun, dun. Subscribe to the Patriots Daily. We can put that up there. Someone just, I don't know if we did this. We might have done this. We've talked the talk about Carter and Hunter for what feels like forever, but they're not going to both be there. But if they were both there, who would you take?
Oh my God, I would take Travis Hunter. I wouldn't think twice. Yeah,
I think so too. He fills kind of two holes for you. Not that you have much of a cornerback hole anymore, but the wide receiver upside plus, yeah, it's Travis Hunter. I don't think it's very close. I mean, Carter's a great player, but I would take Travis Hunter.
Also, just football character. Like when I see them on the field, I've got some questions about Abdul Carter, like his discipline, his awareness at times.
Okay.
But like Travis Hunter, I have zero. It's like bulk up. That's
Right.
what the NFL's for. That's what their weight programs are for. I have zero questions about Travis Hunter as an NFL prospect. I feel like Carters don't get talked about a ton, which I don't really understand, but I feel like there are questions about him. Now, he's got a great profile, and I'm sure a good coach can turn him into a great player pretty fast, but still, I just think that Travis Hunter is a much easier projection.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think that after Giants signing 2 QBs that Carter is more likely and the Giants not needing another D lineman? I think Cleveland's probably going to take Carter.
That's what Adam Schefter said. And also like Myles Garrett with Abdul Carter.
Right.
Insane.
Now, the other thing is, what if Cleveland takes Shedeur? Which could also be possible because they missed out on the Russell Wilson sweepstake. Yeah, they have Deshaun Watson, but he's out for the season, I think, with an Achilles. And I don't think they even, for lack of a better term, care about him anymore. I think that they're just stuck with his money and are just moving on without him. They traded for Kenny Pickett. Cleveland would be interesting to take Shedeur, and then the Giants take one of two of them, and maybe they do take Hunter and Carter lands here, and that's fine with me. If one of them lands here, that's okay with me. But
yeah, I'm on the same page.
That's
very straightforward. Blue chip players, unless someone throws you a crazy offer, you got to get them.
Yeah. All right, we'll close out with this, Taylor. Would you be okay pushing wide receiver pick again? Well, it's not again because they went with 2 last year, but pushing wide receiver until next year's draft with better talent and going heavy on trenches this year?
Yes, because I think the priority this year should be firming up the middle of your team on both sides, and we've seen them start to do that. Also, I think with Stefon Diggs, you have so many receivers now. Not even all these guys are going to make the roster. So I think you need a vertical threat like a Kyle Williams or a Travis Hunter, somebody who can really take the top off and be that vertical guy that Drake May has lacked in his whole, half a season in the NFL almost.
For so long.
I think I would be perfectly fine if they waited on receiver until like the 3rd or 4th round. Or next draft. I still think you need a body. I think you need some juice at that position. But if they don't take a guy early, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. I was going to promo your Steph Diggs stuff, but we don't need the promo here because you guys are members. So instead of playing the Steph Diggs promo, make sure you go check it out because A, you're members, but B, that one's free. And if you like it, tell all your friends to sign up for the Patriots Press Pass membership now because as you guys all know, we're offering tiers here. And there is more than just film breakdowns. There's these awesome AMAs. There's also custom emojis and all that good stuff. So tell your friends. It's a good time on Press Pass. So this one was a little shorter than before. I unfortunately got to get out of here and get back to work. Taylor Taylor will always be working. I was going to say he's going to start his weekend, but he's probably going to go watch some film to start his weekend. So thank you guys for joining this AMA here. We also did our mock draft, which if you want to take a look one more time, Tyler Warren, Luther Burden, Ozzie Trapillo, Marcus Mbow, RJ Harvey, Isaiah Bond, Johnny Cornelius, Luke Lachey, Will Rogers, LeJohntay Wester closes it out. And that is our first AMA all offense mock draft. So we'll be back next week here on Press Pass as always. So make sure you rate, review, and subscribe to the channel and do all that fun stuff. Until next time, thank you guys again for watching. What do you got, Taylor?
Also, give us some mock ideas. We may do all defense next week, but if there's something else you guys want to see, we do this for you. So however we can cater it, give us recommendations for any of these kinds of AMA shows, any other themes you'd like to see.
Any AMA or not any AMA, any members' suggestions in general, like you said, we'll take as well. Like, anything you want to see on the show, we're going to try and do these every Friday, if not as many Fridays as possible to get you guys some bonus coverage here. So thanks again. We appreciate the support and take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And we will see you next time. Peace out, everyone.
Bye.
After losing out on Chris Godwin and bowing out of the sweepstakes for both DK Metcalf and Cooper Kupp, the Patriots have finally landed their proven veteran wide receiver, signing former division rival Stefon Diggs to a 3-year, $69 million deal with $26 million guaranteed. On passes of at least 10 air yards or downfield targets, Diggs still excels at making defenders uncomfortable against off-man coverage and exploiting weak spots against zone coverage. Most of his success came on deep curls between the hashes and in-breakers behind the second level, which was on full display during his 6-catch, 82-yard road game up in New England. Here, Houston comes out in a 2-back pistol look with Diggs and Tank Dell in reduced splits to either side of the formation. Christian Gonzalez starts out in press, but bails before pointing his hips to the sidelines. Despite being at a leverage disadvantage for his in-breaking route, Diggs makes space by firing off the ball to create a sense of urgency, then faking outside once he's on the corner's toes. Then, when Gonzalez bites and tries grabbing to recover, Diggs swipes the arm away and breaks inside before catching a heater for 6 points. Diggs doesn't get the same consistent separation against press man, but his strong hands and concentration allow him to make difficult grabs despite being completely blanketed in coverage. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to become members of Patriots Press Pass here on YouTube for more breakdowns just like this, as well as a ton of other great bonus content.